Welcome to the photo department. Welcome back. This is going to be part 2 of my favorite photo pandemic photo review photo thing. What am I saying? This is part 2 of my 2-part series, I think, maybe part 3-part, reviewing your favorite pandemic photos, the photos that you guys made and sent to me to check out. I did make coffee. This is Canyon Coffee. I think it's their Beechwood coffee, which is good stuff. I've worked with Ali and Casey in the past. I did an interview with them on this channel. You can see it right here. Did I put it up? Is it up? Am I pointing to the right spot? I guess. I wanted to get right into it and get to these photos, so I didn't make a coffee montage, but I will let you know that I'm enjoying this coffee in my Heath mug thoroughly. Okay, let's get into it. The first round was amazing. I loved all those photos that you guys sent me, and this next round is not going to be an exception because you guys are crazy and crazy talented. Okay, first photo we're going to look at. This photo is from Jorge Ortega. This is an environmental portrait of a mechanic and his dog. He does leave his Instagram, Ortega Design, on Instagram, so make sure you check out his work. I've never been much of a portrait photographer. I don't really take a lot of portraits, but when I do, I really like to take portraits that are more environmental, that kind of tell a story with where that person is and kind of like ties them into their environment a little bit. And so when I first saw this image, I immediately loved it. I loved the depth of field where he is in perfect focus, but so is the truck bed that he's standing in front of and his dog who is behind him under the truck bed. But it still falls off to this really beautiful soft fall off in the focus in the background, and it tells a story. I love that the taillights are on and the doors are open. I love that the dog is obviously comfortable and just chilling right there. So Jorge, this is a fantastic image. You didn't tell me what this was photographed on, but if I were to guess, this was shot on medium format for sure. And I'm gonna say 645. It looks like a 645 frame. Mamiya 645 maybe? I would love for you to leave a comment below and let me know what camera you used because this looks great. Great job. Thank you for sending in a submission. You are awesome. This next one, I'm going to screw your name up because I don't know how to pronounce this. Daniel Fial. I'm going to go with that. He shot this image with a Mamiya RB67 and a 127mm lens, which is a combination that I use really often. As soon as I saw this photo, I know I liked it because I love spooky anything, and this photo is kind of spooky. It's very misty, it's giving Silent Hill vibes. It's a very lonely basketball hoop. What I really love about this photo, besides the spookiness and the colors, is that it's very, the perspective is really cool. It's taken low to the ground, kind of looking up. So you've got this forced perspective of kind of like height. And I think it's just visually a compelling photo and I love it. So really great, good stuff. Thank you, Daniel. You are awesome. Andrew Lodge, you're up next. Andrew Lodge Photography on Instagram if you want to check his work out. This picture is shot on HP5 at ISO 400 in a Minolta XG9. I feel like I knew a bunch of people that had that camera and that loved it. This, I think, really is indicative of a very successful HP5 image. HP5 is incredibly flexible, tons of latitude, and a really great film. There's some granularity there, but it's not overwhelming. It's not the first thing you notice. This is a really great image. It just kind of reminds me of the West. It reminds me of, cow pastures and just kind of the slow lifestyle of the West back in the gold rush days, I guess. It's a very simple landscape. I love that fence. I love that there's that big tree in the right quadrant of the photo. It's a pleasing image. I would love to see this on, above my mantle in my new place. Great photo. Thank you, Andrew. Andrew Lodge, everybody. Moving right along. I'm trying to get through these so this video is not too long, but I also don't want to rush through people's work because you guys took your time to send me your really awesome photos. I don't want you to feel like I'm rushing, but I do want to get to everyone. So we're going. Storm. This is from Storm. They started doing photography only about a year ago, so pretty new to photography. So there's a lot of things about this image that I really like. The first thing that jumped out at me was that it's a flash, kind of a point and shoot photo. which I think, say what you will about point and shoots with flash. I know they're like very in vogue and they had their heyday, I guess, with like American Apparel and all that stuff, but there's a reason why it's cool. It just looks really in the moment, and it freezes things. Flash freezes motion and freezes moments, and so when you have a flash photo, it kind of like has this stillness to it, but it also has like a movement to it as well, like this photo very much does. It seems like it's a little bit windy where they're at. They're all dressed up in outfits, princessy stuff. There's really long gloves and tiaras. This girl in the foreground is a Nikon DSLR. A lot of stuff going on. I really love that you can see that sunset and the clouds in the background. It's just kind of a chaotic photo, but I think it's really fun. Something that I would expect to see in the pages of a cool magazine. You know what, Storm? I know you just started doing photography a year ago, but I like what you're doing. If that's the style you're going for, keep it up. It's awesome. Thank you very much for submitting your image. This next photo is from Sol Conde. I'm not saying that right. Or Sol Conde. Sol, like the sun in Spanish, as they told me. They're from Costa Rica, and they found my channel through Christine's YouTube channel, my friend Christine, whose place I'm moving into. She's moving out of her place, I'm moving into it. YouTube is a very small world. So this is the only photo I've gotten like this. This is a black and white self-portrait taken on their phone and edited with Visco, which is the only image I got that was a phone photo, I believe. When I first saw this image, I didn't think this was taken on a phone. I thought it was taken on a camera, maybe even a film camera on a single glance. I absolutely love this portrait because it's not a conventional self-portrait. It's not vain. It's not, I don't know. There's a lot to it. I love the baby's breath in front of their face. I love the way the light's falling, obviously near a large window, it seems. And there's like a natural kind of fall off to the focus in the background. So, you know, this just goes to show you can make fantastic imagery, fantastic work with a phone. You don't need to buy an expensive digital camera to create art that is compelling and tells a story. This is incredible. So this photo is fantastic. Excuse my language. I would print this and hang it on my wall gladly. Excellent work. Very, very cool. Thank you so much for submitting. You also asked how many types of Costa Rican coffee have I tried. I don't know. I've had a lot of Costa Rican coffee in the past when I was working in the coffee industry. I haven't really kept up with it. Since then, I know I've had it. I couldn't tell you what it is. I know I liked it. If you have any suggestions, please let me know in the comments. I would love to check more out. Sol, thank you so much. Next one's Peter. This coffee is really good. This one's from Peter. I'm not going to try to say your last name because it's got a circumflex and I don't even know how to begin to say that. But this is from Slovakia. So again, it blows my mind that there are people from all over the world who are sending me this incredible work for me to check out. It's just boggles my mind that I have an audience that stretches across the entire world, and that just is really, really cool. But their favorite photo, they say, is not related to the current situation, but finally got one summer night to go out and shoot some night film photos, what they wanted to do for a long time. So this photo was taken at night. So Peter did not tell me what film this was taken on. And I'm not going to venture a guess because I don't know if you guys know this, but even seasoned film photographers can't just name film by looking at it, unless it's Portra 400, because we all know what that looks like. This could be Tri-X, could be HP5, could be Ferrania. Who knows? What I do know is that this is a really cool image. I love that all the lights are really bright white and the blacks are like a really deep black. That one light up there looks like a star or an exploding sun. I love the leading lines. I love the lower perspective. I love that the lights kind of follow all the way to the back there. It's kind of like a spooky, I say spooky a lot. It's kind of like a spooky movie poster, and I really dig it. This is also another image I would not hate on my wall. So yeah, Peter, fantastic night photo. I would say continue with the night photography because that's fantastic. Thank you so much for sending me your photo all the way from Slovakia. Crazy. All right. Next photo is from Amina. They say not that into film themselves, but they like listening to me talk about it, and the work I make seems fun. Thank you. A lot of what they do photographically, they consider to be found still lives. Their Instagram is Daliami. I'll put it on screen. I like this photo because I really love anything textural, and if you can get kind of closer up and really kind of reveal textures and surfaces that are uneven and like really like have a lot of stuff going on, that's really cool. Not a lot of people, I feel like stuff like this, you don't see a lot of photos of like chain link fences all the time because it's just like a common thing you see all the time. Why are you going to photograph that? You know, it's not that interesting, I guess, but this is really interesting. I like that pattern of the rust. It's just a very textural, very interesting photo, and it's really, really cool. I like the colors a lot. I would definitely call this a found still life, for sure. Amina, thank you. Check out their Instagram. Great work. Thank you so much for sending that in. This next one is from Alloy Anderson, who goes by Ray Christopher on YouTube, who has been supporting my channel for quite a long time. So thank you, friend, for sending in a photo. This is a portrait that was taken on the Leica 3F with the Sumatar 50mm lens and Kodak T-Max 100, which is a T-grain film that people don't use that often, or some people do, or they don't talk about that much, but T-grain films are cool because they have a really smooth grain structure, so they do really well for stuff like portraits. And I love this image, not only because I'm a sucker for that completely swirly, soft, completely gone background. I think that looks really cool, but also because you've got these really great shadows, dappled light on the subject, which is also another layer of texture. And then you have the leaves in the tree in the foreground, which is another layer of texture. This photo is just layers of texture and creaminess that are just, I love it. It's like a cake. It's not too sweet, but it's got those layers, got that texture. I'm into that. I love the expression on his face. It's kind of serious, but he still looks approachable. I like the tones that you got, the gradient from black to white. Nothing in this photo is really white. It's, you know, pretty gray, but it still has a great contrast. I love this image. Really great work. Goes to show you too that those early Leicas, even though they're not like the holy grail Leicas, they still produce fantastic images. Thank you, Alloy. I love it. So this photo is sent by someone named Seba. They didn't really say much. All they said was "Mi gata llamada Leica," which means my cat named Leica. And you guessed it, this is a photo of a cat named Leica. I like this picture because it's really whimsical and fun. The cat's up on a fence, and they're holding up a magnifying glass to the cat's face. I love cats, so I love cat pictures. I love this concept. I think it's fun. I think it's just a really fun picture. And if I saw this on Instagram, I'd like it. I might even share it because I think this is a fun thing. It's just great. And I love how you have the magnifying glass magnifying the cat's face, and that's perfectly sharp. I love that. That's great. Fantastic image. Thank you so much for sharing that with me. I love it. Here's another person of few words, Adrian Groth. They just sent me an email that says Fuji XT-3 with a smiley face emoji. So this image was taken on the Fuji XT-3, which is what I'm filming this with right now. I think this is a really great photo. I love the color and tones. This looks like just a big rock formation somewhere with a bunch of greenery growing on it. I don't really know what it is about it, but it's kind of giving me like a latent nostalgia, but like I don't know what for. Yeah, it's a good photo. It kind of makes me want to go rock climbing. And I'm not much of a rock climber. I used to be, but not anymore. Adrian, thank you so much. And great choice in camera. John Lampa. This photo was taken in El Cerrito, California, which is really close to Berkeley and Oakland, where I formerly used to live. He is at John Lampa on Instagram. So this is a really cool like aerial view of a portion of like a neighborhood in El Cerrito. I just really like this. It feels nostalgic. It feels comfortable. It kind of feels like it could be a scene, like a quick little screen grab from like a 50s movie, like about like a period piece, except you can see these very modern cars, but just glancing at it, you wouldn't really notice that. It's just like a very warm, pretty, comfortable scene. It kind of makes me miss the Bay Area a little bit. But this is a great image. Thank you so much for sending this out and sharing this with us. I appreciate it very much. Okay, so this is an email that was sent to me that I thought was really lovely because it was so positive and they had so many good things to say, so many nice things to say. And I want to read all of it, but it's just a lot. And it's between him and I think it was just like a really great, beautiful email. So Oscar Nagel, thank you so much for your beautiful email. It really made my day. This photo was taken in Latvia with a Helios 58mm f2 that was found in a dodgy market in Latvia, where they currently study. It looks like, if I'm right, is that your brother? I think you said this was your brother. And I love this picture. I love when people photograph their families. This is just like a really happy photo. Your brother looks happy hanging out on that fence. It looks like a beautiful location. It's a great photo. He's perfectly sharp and it's got the nice fall off in the background, exposed really well. It's just a really good picture. And your email really touched me and made me feel great. And it was really, really nice to get a really great email from the other side of the world from someone who's so kind and awesome. Also, this was taken on Fuji XT-3, which is a favorite. I love that film. It's a film that I use a lot, and probably another reason why I like that photo so much. Great photo. Oscar, thank you so much. You're amazing. This next one is from Pablo. They're 22 years old. They were born in Ukraine, but they're now in Poland. This photo they took when they were in Berlin. And I like this photo a lot because it's kind of timeless. You can't really tell when it was taken or by what camera or where. It kind of has this Eastern Bloc kind of look to it, very European. I love the silhouette. I love the bright sunlight behind them on that wall. You know, they have a dog with them. Who doesn't love dogs? I love dogs. You guys love dogs. Great photo. Pablo, thank you so much for sharing. Okay, next one. Whew, this is a lot. It's a lot because it's hard to go through all these and like not want to spend more time talking about them because everything is so good. And I want to talk about the images more, how they make me feel, like what they invoke when I look at them. But then there's more to get through, so I can't just stop and look at all these for forever, at least on this video. This next one's Veronica. These were all in 35mm. She didn't tell me of what camera or film, but that's okay. This one that I chose was a kind of like a barn or a farmhouse thing in the snow. I don't know where this was taken, but it reminds me of my time in Kentucky. I played guitar in a band for hire. This band was based in Kentucky, so I flew out there. I lived there for like 6 months. And this kind of makes me feel like that time I was there, like kind of isolated and in a place I didn't really understand. I love the perspective. I think it's really great. I think it's just like a really good photo. It really kind of invokes the feeling of being there in that cold. Yeah, great work. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. This next one's from Cameron. This photo was taken in the Canadian Rockies at Moraine Lake Lodge, taken on their grandfather's Pentax P30. Cool. Cameron, I love old cameras that are given to you by your relatives. Ooh, yeah, this is a photo I like a lot. I think I get really board with a lot of travel photography because a lot of photographers take their super good DSLRs or digital cameras or mirrorless or Sonys or whatever the hell they have, and they go out and they travel and they take these like picture perfect, like pristine travel photos, and they all kind of look the same. And you know, there's nothing wrong with that, but it just doesn't really butter my toast. This photo, however, is just so great. I love all of the, I think those are kayaks. No, those are canoes. Those are canoes. I love all the colors of the canoes juxtaposed with the blue of the water. It looks really, really great. I love this perspective where it's kind of like a bay on the lake. So it's kind of like you go around that bend and there's more. I like all the people there. It just seems like awesome place, really fun, serene time. This reminds me of going on vacation with my family up to our cabin in Lake Tahoe when I was a kid. This is an image that I would love to have, definitely love to have framed on my wall. I mean, all these photos, but this one in particular is really great to me. I love the nostalgia from this image, so thank you, Cameron. Awesome. And Luis, this next person is someone I've met. They are in a Instagram group chat with me called Photographers in Coffee Shops Getting Coffee. He submitted his photo. So this is that image on the beach. I don't remember what your email said, but I'm just gonna take it face value. I really love this image because it's so vast and textural, and I love silhouettes. I love that there's a dog in this picture. I love that beautiful, bright sunlight that's just like blooming. It's just such a great image. I love this. Shout out to Photographers at Coffee Shops Get Coffee. You guys are day one, and this photo is awesome. Was this shot on a Leica? Probably was shot on a Leica. Thank you for sending that photo in. Next one's from Jacob. This one was shot on a Nikon D3100 in Galveston Beach, Texas, sometime in June and July. I like this one a lot because I love panoramas. If they're done really well and they're not just like a nature landscape panorama that like everyone does. This one's really, really cool because it's a woman in the surf at the beach with this huge flock of pelicans flying overhead that stretch across the entire frame. So this is such a cool image. I would love to have this framed in my house too. This is just, you guys are just blowing me away with how cool these images are. It looks like there's a oil drill offshore way in the back there, and there's a guy on like a kayak. So there's a lot going on in this image. It's just really cool, and it honestly, like just the way that you edited it, it looks like a still from like a 70s horror movie or something, or like film noir. It just looks so cool. So Jacob, thank you so much for sharing this awesome photograph. Keep it up, man. Your work is cool. This next one's from Preston. He says it's a great idea and I should stay safe. You know what, Preston? Thank you very much. I hope you stay safe too, bud. This is a really cool image. I was saying before on my last video that I really like frames within a frame, and I don't think that it needs to be as literal as like a literal frame within a frame. I like when there's something in the foreground that you're kind of shooting through, and this is the same kind of thing. I'm like super into this. You're shooting down at this like river. There's a boat going by, which is really a great bit of business there that really catches your eye. But it's through this like foliage that looks really pretty. Yeah, I just love this photo. It's just a really, really cool photo. Did you tell me what you shot this on? You didn't. I'd be interested to find out. That's a great photo. Preston, thank you, bud. You stay safe too. Keep it up. This next one from Marius. They couldn't decide which one they liked the most, so I chose one. I think the one I chose was shot on Kodak Gold 200 probably? Ooh, I don't know which one this was shot on. I think this one might be the one that was shot on Vision 250D, but I can't be sure. Either way, this is a really great image. I love how much space is above that rock formation. It's a really crisp image, obviously scanned and edited really well. Great colors, obviously exposure, bang on. This is another image that you guys sent me that I would love to have framed in my house. So yeah, excellent work, Marius. This is really great. Thank you so much for sharing your images with me. My buddy Aaron Coleman, I'm just saying he's my buddy because you guys are all my buddies. Aaron says he loves my channel. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. He says that him and his girlfriend have been driving around backpacking around California every weekend. And this is a Yashica 24 TLR with Portra 120. Oh yeah, I love this image. This is great because it's at golden hour where everything is like really, really gold and pretty. This is just a classic image where it's got that leading line of the road that keeps going. There's a great mountain range behind it. There's those trees to each side of the road that are like bright red with all the sun coming through them. Damn, this is a really good, really good image. It's just a really great composition too. You have the taller trees on the left. It's centered really nicely. You've got, it's not like blown out super bright, like you didn't feel the need to lift all the shadows. You left it kind of contrasty, and I really love it. I bet you guys could guess what I'm gonna say about it. I would like it framed. Yeah, man. Aaron, good stuff. Really great photo. Thank you for showing me your work. Casey, they say, hey, I hope you're enjoying some coffee. I am enjoying some coffee right now from Canyon Coffee. They roast in Los Angeles. Wonderful people. Goes great with a Heath Ceramics coffee mug. When are Heath Ceramics gonna sponsor me, guys? Ever? They don't know I exist. This image is a great nostalgic image in front of this restaurant grill with the cool marquee and the cool sign on the top. I'm a sucker for those really cool old school signs with some motorcycles parked out front. This is just a very pleasing Americana image, bang on with the exposure. I love that, you know, there's still shadows, but there's detail. I love that, you know, nothing's blown out, and I love the composition. It just it looks like a poster for something. I don't know. I keep saying that, but this is great. Colors are great, you know, the classic portrait colors. I bet you probably overexposed this a little bit, maybe shot it at 100. I don't know. It looks great though. Great work, Casey. I hope you are enjoying some coffee. Lillian Fong Hoon. This is taken in Costin, BC on a Pentax MX with Kodak Gold 200. One of my favorites. This image was something that I was really excited about because, you know, it's in front of, it's a soccer goal in front of a mountain range, kind of seemingly in the middle of nowhere. It's really bright and airy, and it's the middle of the day, so it's not like spooky, but there's something spooky about it. But it's also just really beautiful. I kind of like it because it's like kind of nonsensical. Again, I would love this framed on my wall. Great stuff. Thank you, Lillian, for sharing that with me. I very much appreciate and enjoyed it. Next one is Andy Shields. They typically shoot candid street photography, but this year brought them inside in ways they wouldn't have guessed. You and everyone else, buddy. This was shot on Kodak Tri-X at their local grocery store. A shared moment between two strangers lost in the WTF of it all. I love that. I like this photo a lot because I really like the idea of photographing, you know, because people do street photography all the time where it's like, oh, everyday stuff out on the street. But, you know, it's harder to photograph people and things when you're in like a grocery store. And I really love the idea of shooting in a grocery store because it is such a mundane, everyday, normal thing. But then when you kind of give it a new perspective in photographs, it makes it like more exciting and it gives it like more meaning. I like this photo because you really did kind of take your comfort zone of being out on the street and doing candid street photography, and you applied it to being in a grocery store. That's really great. Also, I think it's really cool that a lot of the shelves behind these guys are almost empty, which makes it seem very apocalyptic and of the time. Andy, thanks a lot, and I'm glad you got a Reptoid shirt. So we should take selfies wearing that shirt and put them together, and we'll be best friends forever. Thanks, Andy. This one is by Stephen Wang. This photo was taken during a summer stroll in Knoxville, Tennessee, which is somewhere I have been and enjoyed very much. I like this photo a lot because it's during blue hour. It's very cold looking, but you've got this house with the light on. Is that a light, or is it the reflection of the... Oh, I think that's the reflection of the sunset. That makes this image even cooler. And then in the far right of the frame, you have that little house. Is that a light, or is that a reflection too? So both of these windows look like they're reflecting the sunset, and you're not shooting into the sunset, you're shooting away from it, which is a cool perspective. And I think catching the sunset in the and the reflections in the window panes is a very nice touch. I love this photo. Yes, I would frame this. Thank you, Steven, for sharing that with me. Really great work. Tom Gorges, he found my video, the video asking about people sending in photos, because he found my video about my X Pro 2 Vintage Lens Challenge. It's an old video. Last year, found his grandma's old Praktica MTL5 with a broken light meter and shot it anyway for fun with Sunny 16. That's the spirit. You don't need a meter. I love this photo because it's timeless. Other than the modern cars and the modern advertisements, it's kind of hard to pinpoint when this was taken and where. It's this guy playing keyboard on the street. There's a woman next to him that looks like she's grooving or saying hello. Hard to say, but I really like the layers of this image. I like that it's not centered. It's got the rule of thirds thing going, which I like a lot. I think this is a really successful image. It's really, really great. I love it. Thank you, Tom. Thank you for sharing that with me. Guys, you're not going to believe it, but this is the very last one. This is the last image by Tori Iskandar. I'm very sorry if I ruined your name, but that's my best attempt. And it's very fitting that this last image was taken on a Mamiya RB67 with the 127mm KL lens, because that's a combination I'm in love with. Also shot on Fuji Velvia 50. This was on sunset during Labor Day, overlooking downtown Dallas. So this is such a great kind of fitting ending to this video. Shot on my favorite camera, and it's a really great sunset photo of downtown Dallas from what it looks like a highway. You've got the lights from the cars streaking past. This kind of reminds me of like 80s advertisements that were like super art deco and like super cool, and they'd have like you know, this kind of look where it's like a sunset or it's like a cityscape. It's hard to explain. I think you guys know what I'm talking about though. The colors are amazing because it's Velvia. I mean, look at that sky. It's nuts. I would frame this I would frame this image and also put this up in my house. Great job, because this is just good photography. This is good stuff. Well, that's it, guys. That's two videos, 2 parts of you guys sending in your pictures and letting me not really critique them, but kind of like, I guess, review them for my audience. I want to say again how thankful I am to have such a great audience that will send me their work so I can see it and are, you know, welcoming me kind of into their space to like share their work with them and with the rest of the audience. I think right now what we're going through as the world, it's a very important moment, and I think it's really important that we document as much as we can, because this is an era of human existence that will be in history books forever. There are a lot of wonderful words that are being written, but I really think that the true historians are the photographers and the videographers, the people that go out and capture these scenes that can be seen for generations to come. And that's why I wanted to do this, because I wanted to focus on something positive. I wanted to focus on creativity and kind of show people that, you know, you can, even in this crazy time, still make art and create and do something positive that will positively impact humanity and teach and spread joy. And that's what that's about, man. That's what photography is about, I feel. So once again, thank you to everybody who submitted. I will do this again in the future because this was super fun. Thank you again. Thank you to this wonderful house for letting me do cool things in it. I am only moving 5 minutes away, so I probably will be back here at some point. But still, this is a formative part of my time here in LA. And I'm really excited for what comes next. So thank you guys for supporting this channel. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit that little bell notification next to the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any of my uploads when I do upload new videos. Please share these videos with people if you think they'll like them. If you have any ideas or want to send me something or have questions, you can leave them in the comments, or you can email me hello@csternphoto.com. I hope you all stay safe. Make sure you wash your hands. Please wear a mask. Please don't travel to see family during the holidays. It's way too dangerous. I don't need to tell you this. Everyone else is talking about this, but just stay home, stay safe, create, keep making pictures, keep doing stuff, and I will see you next week. I love you. See you later.